Howdy folks, welcome to Katie Phillips Scrapbook Designs. I'm Katie and today we're going to work on pages 4 and 5 in the Enjoy the Moment mini album. For this album we're using the Botanical Garden collection by Echo Park. And for pages 4 and 5, we are going to use these two pieces that are left over from an oops on page number 3. So that's why we're doing 4 and 5 together. They're going to be mirror images of each other. So we've already got the base page for page number 4 cut and scored. And I have also cut the base page for page number 5. And the dimensions are 5 1/4 by 6 1/2. We're going to score the 5 1/4 inch side at 4 3/4 and 4 1/2. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard real quick. Also, on these pages, we're going to have a couple of pockets. The dimensions for the pockets are 7 1/2, which we're going to score at 1/2 inch, fold that under and score at 6 1/2, by 2, which we're going to score at 1 1/2 inches. And the mats for the outside of the pocket are 6 3/8 by 1 3/8 and 6 1/4 by 1 1/4. So before we do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and score the pockets and mat the pockets. And again, since we're doing everything in mirror, we have 2 of each of these. So score at 1/2 inch, fold under, and score at 6 1/2 inches. And now we're going to score. You know what? I want that. I want the writing here on the bottom. I don't know why, but I just do. So we're going to score this at 1 1/2 inches. And now we're going to repeat this for the second pocket. Score at 1/2 inch, fold under, score at 6 1/2. And score at 1 1/2 inches. Now we're going to fold on these score lines and get a good crease and add double-sided tape to the back side here. Now we're going to miter these corners straight across. And we're going to repeat that for the other pocket. I'm going to want the red out just because the red stands out a little bit better against the pocket and against, actually, I want that. Because actually the second mat is going to be these pink stripes. Yeah, I think I still want the red. And I debated to use double-sided tape here, but after yesterday and all my trials with these mats that are only 1/8 of an inch difference in size, I think I'm going to go with glue. So I took a break from album construction for, I don't know, about 3 weeks actually, 2 or 3 weeks between pages 2 and 3, because I set up an Etsy shop for mini album charms, which can also double as purse charms and zipper pulls. And I'll leave a link to my Etsy shop in the description box down below. But I had no idea how much work was involved in setting up an Etsy shop. But anyway, the time that I took setting up the Etsy shop was time that I wasn't doing mini albums, and I got a little bit out of practice. And this morning, I actually made my very first sale on Etsy. My shop's been up for just under a week, I think. So I'm really happy that I made my first sale this fast, because I've never had an Etsy shop before, so it's not like I know what I'm doing. Watched a lot of videos and spent a lot of time setting it up. And I also have a full-time job that has nothing to do with mini albums or Etsy or anything like that, so there's also that. Oh, and today is December 27th. So, yeah, like probably most of my viewers, I have been very busy with the holidays. Alright, we've got our pockets made. The mats for the base page are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I've got 2 of them cut already. And we're going to mount the pockets to the base mat. And to do that, we're going to line the base mat up right up against this score line here, because this pocket is going to go from top to bottom, so the inserts will come in from the side. We're going to line it up right up against this long score line here and center it between the other 2 score lines. And then pull the release paper. Give that a good burnish. And now we're going to do that for the other mat. So on page number 4, we're going to take this piece, and I'm going to start the video where I constructed these 2 pieces right now. And first we're going to start with assembling a pair of belly bands with the mats. Then we're going to score, and the dimensions for these 2 bands are 1 inch wide by 7.5 inches tall. We're going to score the 7.5 inch side at 1/2 inch, fold that under, and score again at 6.5 inches. And the dimensions on the mats are 3/4 inch by 6 1/4. So let me grab my scoring board. So scoring at 1/2 inch, fold, and 6.5 inches. I've already added double-sided tape to both of these mats. I'm just going to peel that off. Okay, the next step, we've got a couple of mats. Actually, we've got several mats up here, but we're just going to start with these two. So we have one solid cardstock that's cut to 3 1/8 by 6 3/8, and pattern paper that's cut to 3 by 6 1/4. We're going to mount the 3 by 6 1/4 on the 3 1/8 by 6 3/8. I'm going to repeat that with the second set of mats with less messing up. Right, now we've got mats assembled. We're going to mount the bands around the front of these mats. So I'm going to lay the band face down, position one of the mats about even even from side to side along the mat and between the two score lines on the band, and press down on the tabs. Now we're going to repeat that for the other. Now we're going to repeat that for the other band. So we're going to position the band halfway from this edge to this edge, and we're going to position the mat about halfway between the two score lines, and press down on the tabs. Now, the next step is to mount these two mats to a pair of flaps. The measurements on the flaps are 3 3/4 by 6 1/2. We're going to score the 3 3/4 inch side at 3 1/4. So let me grab my scoreboard again. We actually have 4 of these, and I'm going to score all 4 of them, but for the moment we're only going to need 2. All right, so now we've got these two pieces from our previous page. Let's glue one of them down on the free edge of page number 4. And we're going to glue the other one down on the free edge of page number 5. Now I'm going to dry fit. So when I did the math, this should have worked, but it's not working. Oh man, I hate it when I get the math wrong. All right, I've got the solution. Thinking a little bit outside the box. I have cut 2 flaps at 2.5 inches by 6.5 inches, and I'm going to score 2.5 inch side at 2 inches. And I cut these sections down to 2.25 inches wide. So from the bottom of the pocket to the edge over here of the mat is 2.25 inches. Yeah, actually I need to cut these down to, I need to cut another 1/2 inch off. So I need to cut them down to 1.75 inches. And I've got the rest of what I cut off, which I need to cut down to 1.75 inches also. Okay, crease and then miter the corners. So these are going to mount here on the inside, and then we're going to mount the pockets on the outside. Now, before we glue everything down, I'm going to do one more dry fit test. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut another mat a little bit wider because that's an awful lot of white space right there. So yeah, I'm going to cut a complementary mat, but this is going to work. All right, I have cut 2 mats to 1 3/8 by 6 3/8. So it's still going to work. It's going to be a little bit. It's not quite wide enough to go behind the entirety of the back here, but we can fudge it. And actually, you know what? I think I'm going to glue this down to the tab or the flap first before I add the pocket. That way I can make sure that it's where I want it on the flap and then worry about placing the pocket. So with the glue here, I'm going to worry about placing this edge of the pocket first before I commit and press down the double-sided tape. And now let's glue this tab down. Repeat this for page number 4. almost done. We have base page mats, which I apparently haven't cut yet. So the base page mats are going to be 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So let me go cut those real quick. So these were originally the base page mats. That's why I don't have base page mats cut. Because I did, but had to use them for something else. I want these pink stripes for both pages. And I could probably do double-sided adhesive, but right now I'm not fully trusting myself with double-sided adhesive. And if you want to double mat the base page, then that mat would be 4 3/8 by 6 3/8 for the larger mat. The last thing that we need to assemble for this album is the folio. The folio, I've got 2 of them. These are 110-pound cardstock, and they are 8 1/2. We're going to score that at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And we've got some mats here. These are 4 by 6 cut-aparts. These 2 are 4 by 6 cut-aparts. And these are 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. So let's score this and then mat everything. Second moment of truth, will these fit? They will. Perfect. A little tight, but they do fit. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're interested in seeing more mini album related content, subscribe to my channel. I release new videos every Friday and Tuesday. And if you have a question, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and I will link to all the materials as well as my new Etsy shop in the description box down below. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.